that mass and energy are but different manifestations of the same thing, a somewhat unfamiliar conception for the average mind. Furthermore, the equation E is equal mc square, in which energy is thought equal to mass multiplied with the square of the velocity of light, showed that very small amount of mass may be converted into a very large amount of energy, and vice versa.
Hi everyone, hope you're all doing okay on your side of the screen. I'm Jack from Phantasm Paranormal and it's good to have you back here. Or if you're new here, I do spirit communication here and also theorize and talk about all things paranormal which are really passionate to me, stuff which will maybe get your brain ticking and can help us join in the conversation, and hopefully you enjoy the spirit box sessions which are here, and obviously that's why you come here. But anyway, this video is going to be all about sort of a follow-on from a video which I did a while ago, which is about my afterlife theory and what I think happens when we die and what my hopes for when I'm eventually gone and I'm no more. And my theory is sort of based in a bit more science, I guess, and for me it's a theory which leads into so many exciting possibilities. However, I don't know that to be 100%. It's just my speculation on what could happen, but I thought it'd be something that I really wanted to discuss with you, because I know there's a lot of people on here which are very sort of spiritual in nature, so I think it was just time just to deliver a bit more of a fresher perspective. I'm not saying I'm the only one who's thought about this. It's actually Einstein that inspired me to actually think about this, and then one day I was just thinking about it and it sort of made me think maybe this does make sense. Maybe an afterlife does make sense through science, possibly. So without further ado, I suppose let's get on with this one. A little bit of a disclaimer. I'm not a scientist, okay? I'm not a medical professional. So please, if you have more knowledge than I do, drop it down in the comment section, as I would really appreciate the education for myself and others as well. But if you have not watched the previous video on me explaining this originally when I did that video probably nearly a year ago now, maybe 9-10 months ago, please do go watch that video, otherwise this one might not make sense. But if you have watched that video, it was all about sort of Einstein. Can science possibly play a role in an afterlife in some way? And I really think it can, but this is just my opinion and my speculation. I'm not saying this is fact and what happens. But when it comes to energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be recycled or converted. And it made me think about, okay, the energy which is inside of our own bodies, which everything produces some sort of energy. And I'm not talking spiritual energy. I'm not talking from a spiritual perspective. I'm talking about actual energy, like glucose, and what glucose produces within our bodies, produces within our brains. Like even if you take sound, which goes through the ear and goes to the brain, which produces electrical impulses, again, a form of energy. So if you take the energy which is inside our brains, which are thoughts, ideas, and so on, like the fact that we exist, it's always producing energy all the time. So it made me think, our consciousness. Does that mean that when we die, our consciousness, our energy per se, something must happen to it? What does it get recycled to? Can possibly that electrical energy be recycled into things like heat energy, mechanical energy, other sorts of energy? It made me think, what happens? Whether we're conscious of it when we die or not, either way, I think we may go on some sort of adventure. Maybe we're recycled. And it made me think, does this theory possibly may go some way in the future to explaining things like reincarnation and why people believe they are born and they have a past life, and maybe it's the result of when you die, your energy is being recycled maybe into another human being. Again, that is just my speculation, but it's an idea that I wanted to put across to you guys to see what you thought of this, because you guys come to me and tell me your own theories. I just thought it was just so interesting, and maybe science can come into the paranormal, but it makes you think, if we are conscious of our energy being converted, do we have any control over that conversion? Are we able to exist freely? But then it makes me think, if science is so bound with its own laws and its own processes, then for me it also contradicts itself as spirit communication, that it maybe shouldn't be possible, but nonetheless it is. Something is communicating with us. There is no doubt of that. And if you disbelieve that, I encourage you to try what I do and what so many others do yourself. Get yourself a spirit box, try it for yourself, try a spirit box session. And it may surprise you, but don't just try it once and then give up. It takes time, and sometimes even me, I can go for ages and not get any spirit communication. It just happens. It happens to all of us. Spirit communication is not guaranteed. I don't know what I'll be converted to. Maybe I'll be reincarnated. Maybe that can explain reincarnation. Who knows? So it gives me the sort of feeling of, okay, what do I hope for? Because eventually we're all going to die. All of us are going to be gone eventually. You're going to be gone. We're all going to be gone. And anybody you show this to, anybody who's sharing this, we're all going to be gone. So when I'm gone, all I'm going to have left is this whole library, unless something happens to YouTube, this whole library of videos, and the video you're watching now. Maybe I'm gone at the time that you are watching this video, and I am long in the past. So I do hope that somebody can take, my ideas, my thoughts and opinions, and maybe run with them and expand upon them a bit more. Maybe just do something with them, go down rabbit holes. And I hope maybe it inspires somebody to maybe get into the paranormal, who knows? So this whole video library, this whole juggernaut that is YouTube, in a way, I'm going to live forever no matter what. I'm going to live forever on YouTube. So that's also exciting. So it makes me feel a little bit better. And then I'm writing a book as well. So hopefully my book will exist forever on a novel. So hopefully maybe that's a legacy in itself. So science, I feel like eventually we're going to be able to bridge a gap between science and spirituality. There's a lot of spiritual people, which I firmly believe in the paranormal in this field. You have to believe mostly in science and logic and rationality. But then again, the paranormal, the more I think about it, the more I thought about it over the years, it's so irrational because we don't know how it happens. We don't know why it happens. We don't know why or how spirits communicate, but it is happening. Something's answering our questions. We just don't know who or what that thing or it or them are. Could be things like indeed dead people. Could be alternate reality beings. I've explained that really cool theory. It could be aliens. It could be fairies. It could be any number of things. There's so many possibilities. Because again, in the paranormal, so many people come to me and come to other channels that I know of, and they want answers now. And some people answer those questions depending on what they believe, but maybe not necessarily what's true, because just because you believe it does not make it factual. And I always state in my videos if something's just my theory or if it's a fact. I always state if this is just my opinion or whatnot, and this is just my opinion. Does it mean that our energy, that energy which is then recycled, can it interact with you when you do a spirit box session, interact with the sound and be able to manipulate sound? Again, just a theory, is able to manipulate sound if that's how it works and be able to communicate back and forward to you. But then how does that process work? But then I have to accept as well, and a lot of people have to accept that there's so much we're never going to know until we die. Is spirit communication learned? They have to learn it. Do they have to practice and so on? Are they just able to do it right off the bat when they die? Who knows? Or maybe there's something else and it's a process. Maybe they're taught by other spirits. Who knows? Again, there's so many different questions I have, but ones which will likely never be answered. But when I eventually go, which I hope is not anytime soon, but when I do, I will hopefully try and maybe interact with some of you guys. And I would love to know, when I die, no one else is going to know if my theory actually, it really does happen, but I will know, and that's still exciting. So it makes me think again with the laws, will I see my family again? Will I get to hang out with my dad again? Will I get to meet maybe people that I idolized who are gone, like Michael Jackson and so on? I really don't know. I do hope so. I hope spirit communication can go some ways as to explaining how it works and hopefully bridging that gap between, in my mind, for this theory which I have going from spirit communication, which should contradict my theory, but it doesn't at the same time. But it creates, again, so many different questions. If we had all the answers, it'd be normal, not paranormal, which is the exciting yet also frustrating part of it. But I know I will live forever on YouTube. As long as YouTube exists, you'll still get to view this. I won't be here, but in the future, generations will be here, and hopefully maybe you'll come across my videos one day. In spirit communication sessions, I've seen so many say, use my energy, use whatever energy you have and what's available to you or available to around you, and be able to use it to talk to me. Now, is that the case with energy conversion? They're able to do that to manipulate audio, if that's how it works. That's a really exciting thing. I need to still elaborate more on this. I still need to maybe theorize on it a little bit more, do a lot more research, which, you know, you always should be learning. And in the paranormal, what I'll leave you with, never assume that you know all the answers, because you don't. There is always so much to learn, there's always so much that you will never understand, and there's some questions which may be forever unanswered. So it's just something that you have to accept. But I hope maybe you can take any sort of theory or anything that I have put forward, and maybe you can run with it, go down rabbit holes, get interested in this yourself, and hopefully it interests you and you can expand on it. But what do you think happens when we die? Does the theory of energy conversion, does it maybe explain things like reincarnation? Let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. But until then, in the meantime, I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Till then, may the force be with you.